Feeling like your marriage is stale and stagnant? Are you fighting with each other instead of connecting for fun and intimacy? Thinking good marriages are only possible in the movies? Stay tuned for a jam-packed episode of Recharge Your Marriage coming up right now. Hi, I'm Zev Halpern, and thanks for tuning in to Recharge Your Marriage. And respect yourself for looking for ways to improve your marriage. I really do know a bit about this, and I know I can help you get your marriage out of stuck and into a place where the two of you can come to terms and, most importantly, enjoy your time together. So try to feel encouraged. This show provides you with tons of information so you can focus in on where to start. I've developed many ways to help you, and I hope you seek me out because you're not alone, and real help for your unique situation is available. So connect with me, and you'll see how to at the end of the show. We have a great show. We'll be featuring the It Takes Two Players improv troupe and special guest Mike Chasman Coach, who will give us insight and valuable tips. To get you focused and started on improving your married life, I want you to have a free gift for your marriage. So I hope you log on to closermarriage.com and get the Marriage Recharge Guide free. One for her, one for him. It will get you thinking about what you both need to do to at least improve the climate of your marriage, and at best, help you to support and fulfill your spouse's needs with a chance for a friendlier, happier, closer, and more intimate marriage. So go get the free gift. Well, let's get to the Marriage Matters segment. Here's the It Takes Two Players to get us in the mood for this segment.
Still laundry, not even folded yet.
Hi, welcome home.
Dinner, not even started yet. Look,
What?
I am starving, and it's been a really bad day, and you're sitting down playing your game.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't mean to be a jerk, but it's every day.
It just happens to be when I sat down to do it. I sat down 5 minutes ago.
You got to sit down right when I come home. Can't you sit down before? You're home. I'm not. I come home at this time every day, and you know how it's been. Now, I'm sorry.
What do you think I do all day? You think I don't do anything? And I just pick this
I'm
one
sure
time?
you do stuff, but come on. This is ridiculous. It's every day. You got to step it up.
Step it up?
Yes. I'm sorry to sound like a hammer, but this can't go on like this.
I'm not one of your employees.
Look at this house. Are the kids fed? Ridiculous. I can't do it all.
We have some choices when an unhappy marriage routine sets in. We can redefine our relationship for mutual needs, or keep wishing you'll get what you need from your relationship with increasing frustration, disappointment, and even resentment. I invite you to consider the 3 C's to a better relationship: communicate, collaborate, and compromise. The 3 C's is a mindset worth adopting in your relationship, but you have to be capable of considering someone other than yourself. Yep, that's a definite worthwhile prerequisite here. Do you spend time wishing your spouse would do certain things for you? Are there special requests? Are they mundane and ordinary? Do you daydream and fantasize about some special handling you really need from your spouse? Do you just want some help, attention, some collaboration, some overture that shows you he or she is in this with you and willing to do their part? Is that so much to ask of a spouse? Well, it begs the question of, why don't you just communicate your requests and needs to your partner? Are you scared? You may have a legitimate reason for being so. Is your spouse just not approachable or askable? For many marriages, this is the status quo, day after day, month after month, year after year. Afraid to ask, tired of asking, or just wanting a partner that reaches out and in to accommodate your needs, wants, and desires. Many people in these types of marital situations begin to believe this is just the way it's supposed to be. They believe that marriage is a sacrifice, and because loneliness scares them more than the current state of their marriage, they just chalk it up and exist rather than strive to explore and live the life they really want and need. You can go your whole life this way, waiting and waiting some more for something that will not necessarily change on its own. Or you can sit at the negotiating table in a collaborative mindset and muster a way to change the variables of your relationship by finding a way to change the posture of your relationship. This is where the 3 C's, communicate, collaborate, and compromise, can really help you both. You might consider employing some new tools, because whatever you're doing now, even if you have the best of intentions, might just not be working. To accomplish a mutual redefinition of your marriage, you have to shake things up a bit. You have to take some calculated risks. You have to be a bit bold and courageous in your communication. You both need to watch your tone and communicate in a way that doesn't trigger harsh arguing. Show caring and firmness about improving your life together, and you'll find a way to get the message across. The message that it's in the best interest of both of you to rework some of the unwritten rules and roles that govern your relationship. This has a great deal to do with compromise and collaboration. You can lobby for what you need, and relationship compromise and collaboration to mutual advantage is the true win for both of you. 2 people go away from a collaborative negotiation with a redefined set of terms, with relationship gains for each of you. This can work to get you what you need and deserve from the marital relationship when you're trying to redefine your relationship for mutual fulfillment. If you do nothing, guess what you'll get? You'll get absolutely nothing. And your life will be left to reading about relationships that you envy, rather than being in a collaboratively designed marriage that others truly envy. By the way, we all resort to doing nothing sometimes because it's easier. But in the long haul of married life, you could be doomed to a life of standing at the wishing well, hoping for the goodies you signed on for when you agreed to marry, and never getting anything you really want or need. So sit down at the table with your spouse. Get the redefining communication and compromise moving, because you both will be the beneficiaries of your courageous action by setting the stage for a fulfilling, collaborative enterprise. Now, join us in the bedroom for the Sexpectation segment of the show. Since this is the Sexpectation segment of the show, let's begin with a sexual mythbuster. Men hate foreplay and only want to get in there. Yeah, in there. Women only like foreplay and don't want you to get in there. Big myths, because many, many men like foreplay, and many, many women love the feel of you in the tunnel of love. Okay, moving right along. So you want to have sex with your spouse occasionally. You want to fire up the furnace and get that mutual fire down below all started up. You long for the time when it was so much easier. Sex just happened. It happened without pre-think or a drum roll. You both had that bit of undomesticated animal in you. You weren't mommy. You weren't daddy. You were sexy. And somehow you found yourself tumbling, rolling, sweating in the heat of passion. For some of you, it was indescribable. Others, good, reasonable, but the one thing that happened is sex happened, and perhaps it kept happening. Sometimes you were in the mood, sometimes not. Sometimes you were the instigator. If the sex was somewhat good for both of you, great. It contributed to that personal, private time that can serve as the emotional glue of your relationship. Then perhaps it got awkward. Maybe you stopped doing it so much, so you got out of practice, distracted by a laundry list of responsibilities and the mundane business part of keeping your relationship afloat. So what do? Well, here's a few starters to get that furnace heated up. Drop the domestic look. Lose those sweats and flannels. And dress and look your best. Look like someone might want to undress you. Be well groomed. Smell attractive. Choose a time free of distractions and establish this time as the sexy space in your life. Bathe together, shower together. Get some courage about what you were fantasizing about. That's if your relationship allows for the reality of free-floating fantasy. Because we all have fantasies, and this is a good time to employ them and play them out. If what your partner is doing feels good, say things like, I just love when you touch or stroke or lick my ear or lick elsewhere. Please fill in the blank, because I can't say it all on TV, but I would if I could. This doesn't have to end in the big screw, the whole enchilada, the big event. It could just be fun and stimulating, getting out the rust and cobwebs in those sex organs down there. Take a look at this couple.
I'm home.
Oh! Yes, you. Ooh,
Hi.
You certainly are.
Doing little dishes.
Hi. Yes.
Bubbles, hey.
Bubbles.
I like bubbles. You like bubbles?
Oh,
We
I like bubbles.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right upstairs right now is a very hot bath running, and there are bubbles in that bath.
I like bubbles.
How necessary are those dishes?
What dishes?
Right.
Come on.
Okay, should we even turn off the water?
Come on.
If at the end of the day you were closer, you touched, your hands wandered to special places, whether the old physical reaction of a hard erection or a moist vagina and somewhat stimulated clitoris, whoopee and congratulations. Well, then the games have begun. If you keep the ritual alive on a chosen particular day, then there might be some frustration and some disappointment, but there'll be progress as well. What's the progress here? Practice showing up sexy. Create a little anticipation inside that marriage routine of yours. Pat yourselves on the back, you two, for the sincere effort. Or pat somewhere else. You deserve this. But it takes two people's mental and physical creativity, risk, experimentation, and playfulness to make two people's sex work again. So please consider lighting up the furnace and bring intimacy back to your relationship. In the Marriage Pulse tonight, we welcome Coach Mike Chasman. Mike Chasman, a native of Israel, split his childhood traveling between Boulder, Colorado and Jerusalem, Israel, until the age of 21. Mike has been learning and leading since 2000 through his various entrepreneurial endeavors. He's currently on the board of 3 companies, coaches both executives and professionals with career and relationship challenges. Mike, welcome.
Thank you.
You've had some difficult relationships in your life. Tell us a little bit about, how to navigate, that. What does it feel like when you're in a rough relationship?
Well, you tend to internalize everything. So my father always said that you use a mirror to reflect what you look like on the outside, and you use relationships to reflect what you look like on the inside. So what ends up happening when you're in a relationship that isn't necessarily healthy, you start to internalize whatever feedback you're getting from the other person. And it might actually have nothing to do with you. It might be something they're dealing with and they're projecting. And I find that ends up kind of polluting your internal compass.
Yeah.
So your self-esteem goes down, you start to get depressed and kind of extinguishes your light. Yeah.
So, in an ongoing relationship, people often hold back, sort of waiting to get their needs met. What would you say to a spouse who just is waiting for things to happen and they just don't happen, but they just wait and wait? What would you tell them?
I would say stop waiting. We tend to wait in life in general. Like we have some sort of story like, if only things would look a different way, if only I had the car I wanted or the person in my life that I've been waiting for, then I could start living. But the truth is that you can't control anyone, and the only person that you have absolute control over is yourself. So you get to say how you're going to behave, how you're going to interpret circumstances, and that's what really makes the difference. So you get to be who you want to be in a relationship with, and that's all you can do. And then you get to choose if the relationship serves you or not. But a common theme is communication. Like,
absolutely.
Really be consistent with who you want in the relationship regardless of your spouse, and communicate what works and what doesn't.
So what tip can you offer someone who feels their spouse is just saying what they want them to hear? It's like the appeasement program. I need you to do this, honey. I want you to, you said you were going to do this. And they just give them lip service. So what would you tell them how to?
Again, I would call them on it. There's no way to control anyone else. So you tell them like it is. Like, this is, we had this conversation and you said X and it's not happening. And you get to choose if it's something that works for you or not. That's it. I mean, I don't recommend staying in a relationship that doesn't serve you, as scary as that is, right? It's the devil you know.
Absolutely. So we all bring baggage into our relationships. Sometimes it makes us feel like a victim. Now, what's your view on victimization?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being a victim, and it's not like a place you're at or a status. It's not that you are a victim or you're not. I think that every single situation, every moment, we have a choice. We can choose to be at effect in life or at cause. We can be victimized by circumstances, or we can take responsibility that we're the creator of whatever it is we're in. And it really is a choice. The past is not here. It happened. It's gone.
It's hard to feel that way. Though.
Yeah,
it
really is.
I mean, it's hard to rocket yourself out of that when you feel
It really
just
is.
so stuck.
Yeah, my recommendation is to create something new. Like actually envision a future that you want and focus on that. And what do I need to do now to get there?
And I think that's good because people, when they're stuck, if they go out and do something for themselves, it speaks to their integrity.
Yeah.
And in those kind of situations, integrity is low. It's on the ground. So why do people stay stuck in these relationships?
For a few reasons. One is sometimes people feel that's what they deserve in the moment. Sometimes when you really love somebody and they treat you a certain way, you believe, well, they must know the real me, or they must, I deserve it. Another reason could be that they're reliving some past. And then there's fear. There's just plain fear. You're used to this. You don't know what it would be like without that person.
That old familiar.
Mm-hmm.
This is
the
familiar.
devil you know.
It's horrible, but
Yeah.
I know it, and I'm afraid,
Mm-hmm.
to move into something else, and so I stay stuck and kind of in a pity puddle
Yeah.
sometimes. Well, tell us about Mike Chasman coaching. Tell us about how you do it.
Well, the type of coaching I do is called ontological coaching. It's the science of being. And I work under the premise that everyone is perfect, whole, and complete just the way they are. There's nothing wrong. No one knows your life better than you. And I work with people who are up to something, who have kind of distinguished a gap between where they are and where they want to go. And I work with my clients to create projects to move their life forward in different areas. And in the background, I work with them to distinguish what has them stuck in that area. And it's always a context that has them stuck. And I can get more into what a context is and how you distinguish it and how you can shift your whole life by distinguishing a context and picking, choosing something else.
Who comes to seek you out?
All kinds of people. I have opera singers, accountants, professionals, a lot of entrepreneurs. I really resonate with entrepreneurs since I've been in that field for a while.
Well, you've been a great guest, and
Thank you.
Sounds very interesting, and I'm sure you do the people who come to you a lot of good, because you come from a very confident place.
I love the work. I really love having a conversation with someone and really like hearing that moment when they get something for themselves and their whole life shifts in that area. It's aha moment. Yeah, and it's not a fix. It really is a shift. Their whole reality transforms in that particular area.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
You're welcome.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
That's all the time we have. To find out more about Mike Chasman Coaching, contact him. To find out more about the It Takes Two Players, contact Chris Penick. I invite you to find out more about how I can help you through my signature program, Recharge Your Marriage Now. Enrich your marriage communication skills, reconnect for a deeper, more fulfilling relationship, and spice up that marriage and feel the love again. Here's how to find me at closermarriage.com, your source for recharging your marriage and passion. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and finally, hug, kiss, touch, talk, cuddle, laugh a little, smile a little, and be kind to those you meet. We're all fighting a great battle. We're all in need of some loving kindness. I'm Zev Halpern. See you next time for Recharge Your Marriage.